loves, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video we have a brand new pick a card reading, and this one is all about your month of February of 2026. So if you're curious what you can expect through this next month, what are the major themes, what are the major events, then this is the video for you. One thing that I really want to make clear is tarot is a beautiful tool to be able to see insight in what you're currently manifesting and what's aligning with your current energy. And through understanding what's aligning with your current energy, you get to gain insight in what changes you maybe want to make, how you want to kind of navigate things moving forward and all of this. So that is why tarot makes such a beautiful tool, because it just really helps gain insight in the current trajectory and all of that. So on this channel, we bring information that is intended for your highest good, to help bring awareness of your trajectory and to help you move forward in the direction that you desire so that you can be the conscious creator of your life, my love. So that is all about that. The way that this video works, if you are new here, I have 4 different groups in front of me, and you're going to use your intuition to choose one of these 4 different groups. Your intuition is your 6th sense that's able to read energy. And there's different energies and themes that are of course going to be within each of these groups. And depending on which one your intuition calls you towards, your intuition is going to call you towards which one resonates with you and your energy in the present moment. That is why these videos are so accurate, and the different ways that you can tap into your intuition, because intuition has so many ways of speaking to you. So for one, perhaps by visually looking at these groups, perhaps there's one of them that just stands out to you amongst the rest. That, of course, would be your intuition speaking to you. So you'd go ahead and tune into that particular group, and there's timestamps linked down below so that you can easily navigate through this video and skip right ahead to your personal reading for the month of February. If visually looking at the groups is not really working for you, another little tool that you can use is to use your hand and just to gently glide it over each of the piles, just sensing what you feel within that pile. And perhaps there's going to be one of them that again stands out to you amongst the rest. Maybe there's going to be one that calls to you, one that just feels different, one that you maybe get a magnetic pull towards, and that is your intuition. So you'd go ahead and tune into that group. So that is how this video works. I know some of you also like to choose via the crystals, and you like to see a close-up of the crystals. If that is you, my love, over here on group number 1, we have this really beautiful copper crystal. So if you're drawn to the copper piece, then group 1 is going to be your pile. Group number 2, we have this really, really pretty piece of quartz. This is a natural piece of quartz. So if you're drawn to the big quartz piece, then group number 2 is going to be your pile. Group number 3, we have this really pretty rose quartz crystal. If you're drawn to this rose quartz, then group number 3 is going to be your pile. And then over on group number 4, we have this really gorgeous Lapis Lazuli crystal. So if you find yourself drawn to the lapis, then group 4 is going to be your pile. So those are the different group options for today's video. Of course, you can pause the video in order to take all the time in the world that you need to find out which group you are the most called towards. Occasionally, your intuition may call you towards multiple groups, and that's totally okay. It just means that there's multiple messages for you in today's video, so you go ahead and tune into all of those. And with all that being said, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into today's video. All right, my group number 1s, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading, so let's go ahead and dive right into it. All right, my group 1s, beginning with your Astro Dice, let's see your month of February. So we have the moon in Aquarius in the 11th house. So the 11th house is about friendships. It's also about networking, innovation, new ideas. It's more about being in the public. Even social media can be connected to the 11th house. And also Aquarius is very connected to those things as well. The moon is about your inner world, your inner emotions, kind of what you're going through, what you're experiencing, and more of your self-care and nurturing. So with this kind of layout that we have right here, there's a few different messages that I'm getting. For one, I feel like amongst your friend groups, there's going to be some really deep, transformative conversations that you have. These can be conversations that really touch you emotionally. Perhaps they help with emotional healing, or maybe you're even having deep talks that help gain new epiphanies and insights, because Aquarius is very much about those epiphanies and insights. Also, since we have this connection to social media with the 11th house and with Aquarius showing up, there could be certain things with social media that are significant for you this month. So whether you work on social media or whether you're just scrolling on social media, I feel like you're gonna be finding things that give you new inspiration and new epiphanies in your life via social media, via like the videos that you watch and the things that you come across. If you're reading a book right now, I feel like that book is gonna offer a lot of insight for you and things where you're like, oh, I really wanna take notes on that. I really wanna remember that type of feeling. So I feel like all of that is going to be quite significant. I'm also getting this sense of recognition when I'm looking at this as well, like emotional recognition, where you're feeling like, ooh, I feel like emotionally seen or satisfied in some type of way. And let's go ahead and see what else we get for your month of February. So we have the 7 of Wands showing up in the upright position. So this card is when you feel like you're staying on top of things and you are able to kind of keep up with things. Although the 7 of Wands can also sometimes feel a little bit overwhelming, like perhaps you have a lot on your plate, perhaps it feels like there's a lot that you need to do, there could also be a sense of competition that you're getting in some way. And this could be from other people, where it feels like other people are giving you this sense of jealousy or competition. Or perhaps it's even you, where you're trying to kind of rise higher, and maybe you're trying to rise above something this month. The 7 of Wands can indicate that we are defending our position and wanting to rise higher, but when it's in the upright position, it means that we're actually getting to that higher place. It means that we're actually, really proving ourselves in whatever position that we're in. We are taking action, standing up for ourselves. Again, if you have a lot on your plate, I'm seeing that you are able to keep up with everything that you have going on. So the 7 of Wands is this energy of being able to keep up, and also this energy of kind of defending yourself more. Maybe you're gonna be more adamant on really standing up for yourself, especially if there's anything where you're like, I really need to correct this, or I really need to, speak my mind or uphold certain boundaries or things like this. I feel like you're gonna have this energy of really, again, standing up for yourself this month. We also have the 6 of Cups being reversed. Ooh, this card represents the release of the past. And especially since we have the 11th house coming up, which can deal with other people, I feel like you're overcoming past matters with somebody, like something where either we needed to clear the air or have closure of some kind. I feel like you're gonna be getting that this month. If you have felt as if you're being held back in the past in any way, where it felt like you couldn't really move forward, or it felt like you were thinking a lot about the past, or it felt like you, maybe even in social media, were looking upon somebody from your past a lot. The 6 of Cups being reversed, I feel like you are releasing that this month. And I feel like you're gonna be pushing yourself to kind of overcome certain things from your past that were holding you back. So let's go ahead and see what else we get here. My group ones, what else do we have for your month of February? Those 2 cards just wanted to shoot right out there. They didn't even want to go back in the shuffling sequence. So we have the Queen of Pentacles being reversed, as well as the 5 of Wands upright. So the 5 of Wands can indicate that we are either having like an internal conflict where we are sorting out our inner duality, like perhaps you have aspects of yourself that are telling you one thing, and then another aspect of yourself that's telling you another thing, or trying to push you towards certain desires, but then you have a part of you that's holding you back, or things like this. It can talk about the inner conflicts like that. It can also talk about external conflicts as well. So such as, again, a feeling of needing to prove yourself, or a feeling like there's competition around you, that you're trying to overcome the competition and you're trying to rise higher. If any of you work on social media, this could deal with like the social media algorithm and trying to, outsmart it, or feeling competitive in that way. Or even if you work with other people, this could be a feeling of like, oh, I'm trying to compete for a certain project or a certain goal or a certain outcome, right? So it can talk about those types of things where you're really trying to push the needle forward. The Queen of Pentacles being reversed, especially with the moon as well, I feel like this is a month where you're going to be looking at your self-care, and perhaps that's been something that you've been putting off lately, is proper self-care, or, you know, really being intentional with what you're feeding yourself, what you're nourishing yourself with. When she is reversed, the Queen of Pentacles is just sort of rushing along. Maybe she has a lot to do and she's not really being mindful of, am I really eating the healthiest food, or am I kind of just reaching for convenience? Or am I really scheduling my time properly and scheduling in time for relaxation? Or am I just rushing along doing what I need to do and kind of overworking myself or reaching burnout or things like that? So the Queen of Pentacles, when she's reversed, can kind of highlight those different aspects of our lives. So I really feel like this month as well, your emotions are really going to be guiding you towards making a new plan, garnering new information where you're like, you're really starting to be more intentional. You're really starting to think about things in a deeper way this month, especially when it comes to your self-care and nurturing yourself and all of those things. So let's go ahead and see what else we get here for your month of February. What else do we have happening for my group ones? Okay, so we also have seeing beyond. Oh, I feel like when it comes to other people, my group ones, it's almost like your intuition has been very strong, where it's almost like you're able to read people really well. You're able to tell what people's energy actually is, and I feel like you're putting up a little bit more boundaries with who you spend your time with, because I feel like you've been really in your empathic self lately, where you're realizing that you really perhaps can feel the energy of those who you're surrounded by. And so I feel like you're also being more intentional with who you're surrounding yourself with. Also seeing beyond, I feel like there's going to be conversations this month where you're able to see the bigger picture, even if it's not really being said. You're able to see beyond a lot of things. I also feel like this deals with future vision as well. So when you're thinking about what you desire to create in the future, or the trajectory that you desire to go in, I feel like this card is also alluding to the fact that this is a month where you're kind of getting a lot of foresight. You're able to kind of see where certain actions are leading you. And I feel like that is one of the reasons why you're becoming a lot more intentional with your actions, because it's almost like you're gaining this insight of like, this is going to lead me here versus this is going to lead me here. And I feel like this foresight's really helping you in decision making. It's helping you be a lot more conscious with your decisions. And let's go ahead and see what else we get here. I feel like your dreams too, when seeing beyond comes up, I feel like your dreams are going to be really speaking to you as well, especially the fact that we have the moon coming up. I feel like you might get a lot of insight in your dreams. If you dream journal this month, since it's going to be such a intuitive month for you, I feel like taking out a dream journal, where when you wake up in the morning, you journal about your dreams and you kind of reflect on what it might be symbolically or metaphorically saying. Because dreams stem from the subconscious. They kind of help our subconscious process what it is that we're going through. And sometimes, we gain new insight through our dreams. And I feel like dream journaling is going to be really powerful for you. But let's go ahead and see what else we get here for your month of February. So we also have the card, it is what it is. I feel like there's this layer of acceptance this month. Rather than trying to completely control the outcome or feeling like upset because certain things are out of your control, I feel like there's this desire to just be at peace with a lot of things and bring in more of a sense of peace. So this card's kind of like giving me this sense of you just being able to release certain things that maybe used to keep you anxious or feeling like you needed to control everything. There's this energy of like, you know what? I'm just gonna allow things to be, because I feel like there's this surrendering of like, you know what? I'm not even in control of it anyway, so let me just let it be. There's that sort of energy coming through. And let's take out these cards here and let's see what else we get for you. My group ones, your month of February. Okay, so we also have the card of perception, the Jaguar. I feel like your perception is different in the sense that I feel like you are getting to the point of seeing the bigger picture behind something that maybe you didn't see the bigger picture in before. It's sort of like giving you this insight on what is worth you fighting for versus what is worth kind of accepting and letting it be. Also, we have resilience with the scarab beetle. And the scarab also in ancient Egypt is connected to magic and manifesting. It's connected to kind of like hidden things kind of coming to light and bringing in a sense of like, almost like a miracle, I want to say, like different miracles or different insights, or even just awakening to your own magic. So resilience is making me feel like in the things where it feels like you are needing to catch up a lot, or the things where it feels like maybe there's a lot of busyness going on. Spirit is literally saying that this month you got this. You have the strength to pull it off. You got this. Whatever those deadlines are, or whatever those different things are that you're needing to like really, keep up with. I feel like you got this. And I also feel like your perception of kind of what's a priority to you is going to be shifting as well. And it almost feels like you are becoming stronger this month and reaching new heights because of your ability to kind of release the things that you can't control anyway. And then the things that you can control, you're just like, you know what? Let me get to the freaking top of this. Let me win at this. There's almost this competitive, like winning sort of energy in this month. If any of you are studying for a test or anything like that, I'm almost seeing you like really diligently putting a lot of effort towards it. Or if there's like a project that you're completing or something like this, or just tasks that you need to get done, I just see you really rocking it and like getting to a point where you're just like, you know what, I got this. And even if it feels like you're rushing, even if it feels like you're like, oh my God, this deadline's so soon, how am I gonna reach this? How am I gonna overcome this? How am I gonna get all of this done? How am I gonna get to the other side of this? I'm really seeing this energy of you being able to do it, even though it might feel impossible. It's almost like this feeling of like, oh my God, how am I gonna do that? You got this. I'm really seeing like you got this. So let's see what else we get here. I feel like as long as you're willing to continue putting your best foot forward and like, continue showing up even when it's hard and you have that resilience, I'm just seeing you being able to come out on the other side being like, look it, I freaking did it. I did the unthinkable. I did the thing that I thought was going to be impossible, and you're going to be on the other side of it just being really proud of yourself, to say the least. So let's go ahead and see the other cards that came up here. So we also have Speak Truth. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities to voice yourself and to voice your mind. There could be some really important conversations that come through this month. We also have the Universe. This is when you feel like you are more in control of your life. You're kind of like the creator of it. And the main thing that actually makes us feel more in control of our life is when we let go of trying to control the things that are outside of our control, but instead we choose to control what we can control, which is ourself and our actions and our reactions. So I feel like you're kind of taking the reins of that. The universe can also be connected to bigger plans that you're making. So this could be bigger plans such as travel or what you desire to do in your future. It's kind of like this big world thinking. And especially with the Explorer, you might be kind of exploring like bigger options for yourself in the month of February. Maybe thinking about like, what's my larger vision? What do I really want to do? What do I want to create? And there's something where it's like big picture planning that's really kind of coming through this month. We also have Dare to Dream and also Reclaim. It's almost like you're reclaiming your power to say, you know what? Let me like dream more. Let me claim more. This claw with this diamond, it's almost like you're grabbing a hold of something that you desire and you're like, you know what? I am going to do it. I'm almost seeing this as like taking up an opportunity, or this could even be making a purchase. Okay, for either or of you, because this is a general reading, I'm getting two different interpretations from this. You are either taking up a new opportunity and saying yes to something that feels big but exciting, or this is you making a purchase that is in reflection to like this new version of yourself. Perhaps it's a purchase that's going to help you kind of move forward on a new project or an idea, or it's a purchase that's simply like a reflection of like who you really desire to be. Maybe it's something that you've been thinking or dreaming about for quite some time, and this is going to be the month where you actually kind of take that leap and put that energy into yourself. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into our last few cards here and see any last messages that want to come up for you, my beautiful group ones. Your month of February. Let's see. So we have forbearance. Do not be deterred by the thorn amidst the roses. Ooh, do not be deterred by the thorn amidst the roses. So sometimes when it comes to something that we desire, there can be, it almost feels like either there's like an obstacle or something that we fear that might be standing in the way, or something where it's like, oh, I'm gonna have to go through that in order to get there. Oh, is it worth it? Forbearance. Do not be deterred by the thorn amidst the roses, right? Every rose has its thorn. Every desire is going to have like those small little things where we have to either overcome a fear or overcome a doubt or face something that we might want to face, right? We also have grounded. Keep your roots and stand taller than the trees. So the deeper your roots, the deeper you are rooted in your vision, in knowing who you are, in knowing what you desire, the deeper your roots are in all of those things, the taller that you can grow to the point where you're taller than the rest of the trees around you, meaning that other people's thoughts or opinions, projections, different fears, circumstances, situations, challenges, obstacles no longer feel overwhelming or no longer feel like they have power over you. Rather, when your roots are so strong, you can grow so much taller than any of those other things. Therefore, you're able to overcome them, right? So when you can keep your roots strong in knowing who you are, what you desire, your belief in yourself, having that inner strength and rooting yourself so deeply in there, you become unshakable, my love. And your message for this month is to get so grounded in who you are. I'm almost seeing like Spirit encouraging you, taking out a journal and getting very clear on who you are. Okay, if you have any doubts or if you have any insecurities or things like this, I want you to get so clear on who you are and really hype yourself up about, you know, the most inspiring version of you, and really kind of call your power back, reclaim your power by seeing all of who you are. Like list out your skills, your talents, your values, your qualities, what makes you an amazing person, why you're a great person, why you deserve to have the things that you desire and all of these things. And as you get clear on that list and you create such a strong root system in knowing who you are and really defining who you are with clarity. Who are you? What are your likes? What are your dislikes? Start to really define who you are at the deepest level and even on the surface level things. And as you get that full broadened picture of who you are, those are your roots that can keep you so grounded so that if anyone says like, oh, you're this, or oh, you're that, or oh, you can't achieve that, or oh, who are you to want that? You have this root system where you know so clearly who you are, what your talents, what your skills are, and all these beautiful things, which by the way, are ever growing and ever expanding. And you can always grow and expand them even further. But through knowing this, it's like you get so grounded, and it's like really when challenges come or when you're facing something where you're doubting yourself, you can really begin to look at that list and remind yourself of who you are, and you say, you know what? That's invalid. Or let me grow taller than this. Okay, this challenge is in my way. Let me call upon who I am. Let me grow my root system even larger. And let me just start to stand taller than this challenge. Let me stand taller than this situation I'm facing, right? Ooh, my love, so much power comes from there. So that is what we have for you for the month of February, my beautiful, beautiful group number one. Thank you so much for joining me here. I'm sending you so much love as always. And I also want to mention my Tarot Masterclass is out. The doors close to it, I believe, in the next 24 hours. So if you want to join the Tarot Masterclass, where I teach you how to read the cards, the secret wisdom within the tarot, how to tap into your intuition more, how to build your intuition, we go through so much within the Tarot Masterclass. This Tarot Masterclass, I go through what the cards also talk about in terms of self-development and self-mastery, because the tarot cards are actually the deepest self-development, self-mastery, and manifestation book or course or lesson, and it's like the deepest one out of anything that you'll ever find. Like, the tarot has taught me so much about these things, and I teach you exactly what the tarot teaches about self-mastery and manifestation and all of that within the Tarot Masterclass. So it's gonna be beautiful and transformative. So it's gonna be beyond just learning how to read the tarot. It's literally going to be also, on top of that, the deepest self-development journey, where you get to uncover the wisdom of the tarot and the self-development that it talks about. So anyway, if you are interested in that, the link is down below where you can sign up. I think it's only open for the next 24 hours. So if you want to sign up, the link is down below, or if you've already missed that window, you can sign up for the waitlist for the next time that it launches. But I cannot wait to see you inside, my love. And until next time, bye. All right, my beautiful group number 2s, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading for the month of February. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. All right, my group 2s, let's go ahead and see your month of February. I feel like those astro dice barely even rolled. But anyway, let's dive in and go with it. So we have Jupiter in Aquarius in the 4th house. So the 4th house is the house of your home life, your family, your roots, your foundation, your security, all those things. Jupiter is the planet of good luck, good fortune, expansion, and travel, higher learning. It's just an expansive, abundant, good luck type of planet. It's all about good fortune. Then we also have Aquarius, which is more about learning, communication, innovation, being resourceful, doing all these good types of things. So a couple different things that I'm seeing here. Since Aquarius is also kind of about thinking outside of the box, I feel like there's going to be new realizations and epiphanies, new levels of understanding when it comes to your home life, your family, your foundation, your sense of security. And then Jupiter being here as well, it kind of brings this sense of good luck and expansion to your home life. So perhaps there's going to be new epiphanies or new ideas that you get somewhere around your home. Perhaps you're going to be thinking about new ways of kind of making your home feel more abundant or more expansive or more family oriented. This could also be news. This could be good news coming in or new ideas kind of coming in when it comes to your home life. If any of you are thinking about moving or wanting to do upgrades in your home, this would all indicate forward movement in all of those areas. Jupiter helps us kind of expand our horizons. It helps us see more. It helps us align to the right opportunities and the right things. So it's all of that. If any of you are wanting to expand your family, or if you are wanting to create more harmony in your home life, more harmony when it comes to your family and the responsibilities, or even just your sense of security, right? Because the 4th house can also just deal with your sense of security as well. This would all be great new ideas and epiphanies and information coming through that helps you create a more harmonious, more stable foundation. So let's go ahead and see what else we get here for your month of February. It definitely seems like your biggest theme is going to be around your home and your roots and your family. So let's see what else we have here. We also have the Knight of Swords. He can indicate really fast-paced motion or new ideas or information. He can also represent a person in your life, by the way, or even yourself. So the Knight of Swords would be somebody who's thinking really quickly, somebody who has a lot of ideas, somebody who wants to take action. This could be opportunities coming through. This could be us acting really fast on something. Like, for example, if any of you are home searching or something like this could all of a sudden be where one just pops up and you're like, I gotta jump on that. And so you make a decision really, really quickly. It could also be where a new opportunity comes in to you, right? Especially talking about like your home life or things like this, it can be a new opportunity coming in with that. This could also represent you in general, just having a very more fast-paced type of month where things are getting done a lot quicker. you're making decisions, things are happening more spontaneously this month. He can also, again, represent another person in our life. So this could be somebody coming to you with news or ideas or with communication. If any of you are trying to solve certain things or, have better communication, the Knight of Swords would definitely be having communication, but it can usually represent having very quick communication where things are said really quickly, they're figured out really quickly, and stuff like that. Occasionally, he can indicate, or he could come with the advice of like being more intentional and making sure that you're not rushing conversations, making sure that things are clearly understood. He can come with that sort of, message as well, because sometimes the Knight of Swords, since he is the fastest moving card in the tarot, sometimes he can do things a little bit too quickly. So it sometimes brings just a word of advice to take things a little bit slower, especially when it comes to important conversations, making important big decisions, and all of that, okay? So let's go ahead and see what else we get for you, my group 2s. So we also have the Tower being reversed, ooh, and then we also have the Hangman being reversed as well. So the Tower reversed is one of my favorite positions for the Tower to come up in. So for one, whenever the Tower comes up, it can talk about something that we are going through where there's either a big ending. When it's reversed, it usually indicates that we've already kind of gone through it, or it can sometimes talk about it happening more on an internal level. So the Tower is sort of when we feel like something's crumbling or something's kind of, we are leaving something behind. Since we also have the 4th house showing up, I almost wonder if some of you are thinking about moving, or there's a desire to move, or perhaps there's a desire for a big shift, or you've recently gone through a big change in your foundation in some way, shape, or form, where it was almost like something had to end or something had to, it couldn't kind of last in the same structure that it was in. So this could also be, on a more family type of level where perhaps there's been certain structures that it's just like, this is not working anymore. This structure cannot continue because it's no longer providing the outcome that we desire, right? So the Tower can represent sort of going through a crumbling phase. However, when it's reversed, ooh, I love the Tower being reversed because it indicates that you are waking up to the bigger reason why it needed to be revised. And through that wisdom, my love, the Tower being reversed indicates that you are rebuilding in a new way that's going to be more stable, more reliable, and a lot like longer lasting, more enduring, right? Because the Tower, when it's upright, it's sort of like we're building a structure where it's like kind of unstable. It's not quite working. It's not quite reliable. So now it's like this month of February, you're building something and you're working on the foundation, right? It's interesting. We have 2 cards that talk about foundation. You're making a foundation that's going to be so much more reliable. It's also going to be, it's going to make you feel more safe. It's going to make you feel more safe. You've learned a lot, and your new plans that are coming through, it's like almost you're making some quick decisions. There could even be some spontaneous things happening this month, but it's really leading you towards more expansion. Because similar to if you're trying to build a building, if you don't build the foundation to be very strong, like eventually that building is going to be the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and most things don't last as long as the Leaning Tower of Pisa. They end up just kind of falling and crumbling over. And who wants to live in the Leaning Tower of Pisa? I mean, that would be a little bit difficult. Kind of cool, but also kind of difficult, right? So I feel like there's certain things where perhaps you were trying to sustain something that was a little bit more difficult. And now it's kind of coming to the point where it's like, you know what? I do need to restructure this. I need to create this as a more solid, reliable foundation. And that is specifically what you are doing. The Hangman being reversed talks about quite a few different things. For one, it can talk about you integrating all of these new ideas and finally being able to move forward, because the Hangman can talk about when we feel stuck, right? When it's reversed, it can talk about us feeling like, oh, I know what I need to do and now I just need to move forward and implement it. On the other hand, since this is a general reading and I like to point out all the different options here, on the other hand, the Hangman being reversed can also indicate this resistance where new ideas or opportunities are trying to come through, but we might be stuck in our old way of thinking to where we're dismissing possibilities and possible solutions. Okay, so there's two different sides to this, and I want you to really reflect on which side you might be navigating right now, because this is going to really help with making decisions and really helping move things forward. Have you ever had a friend, by the way, when you're sitting down, and let's say they come to you with a problem and you can clearly see multiple solutions for them and you're relaying these possible solutions, but they're just not hearing it, or they're kind of being really dismissive and saying like, no, I can't do that because of this, and no, I can't do that because of that. And you're thinking like, oh, you're kind of like making your own stuckness. Well, oftentimes we can also be that same friend that can sometimes be in that same stuckness where people are providing us ideas or solutions or options or all these things, but we're dismissing it, or we're not allowing ourselves to be open to that perspective. And what the Hangman says is to be open to a new perspective, right? Because and when you look at the Hangman, it's somebody who's deliberately holding themselves upside down. And what that symbolizes is you deliberately forcing yourself, or not forcing, deliberately putting yourself in a position where you're like, okay, I'm gonna look at this from a different perspective, from not where I usually look at it from. So rather than looking at, potential solutions, potential outcomes, potential things, rather than looking at it from the sense of like, no, I can't do that because of this. Rather than looking at it like that, this card really invites you to shift your perspective and to keep an open mind. Because when you do, the information that comes your way might actually really surprise you. Rather than dismissing solutions right away, really allow yourself to sit with it and be like, you know what? Let me ponder this for a second. Let me really see if this could be the right solution. Right? Then we're starting to extract some good information. But again, it can also indicate that you are taking that solution and riding the wave with it, and it's allowing you to move forward once again. So let's see, my love, what else do we have your month of February? Let's get one more tarot card here, and then we'll dive into our oracles. So I really feel like that card wants to come out. So we have the Fool being reversed. I'll also turn, well, I'm gonna keep this one upright so you can bring in some of that energy of like this new perspective and implementing that. The Fool being reversed is when we're no longer feeling naive. It's almost like the Fool reverse can talk about redoing something. It's almost like we've been here before, but now you're coming back to it from this higher perspective, right? So perhaps there's something that has shifted and now you're on this rebuilding stage, or you're restructuring it, but you're restructuring it from this place of like, I've been here before, I've seen what works and what doesn't work, and you're coming back to it from a much higher perspective. And so there's almost like this spiritual advice where Spirit really just wants to bestow this sort of message to you that says, don't doubt yourself and don't overly question yourself, or don't feel like, if you're rebuilding something, don't feel like, oh, I've messed up so many times. Spirit really wants you to approach this from the perspective of, I'm coming at this with more wisdom than I ever have before, because you've experienced all these different situations in the past. Spirit is like, when you approach this situation again, approach it from the perspective of, I literally know more now than I ever have, therefore I'm more prepared, more equipped than I ever have been before. That is what Spirit wants you to lead with, my love. So let's go ahead and dive into some more cards here for your month of February, my group 2s. What else do we have for your month of February? Let's see. Ooh, there's a card that just flew onto the ground over here. We have Waking the Lion. Number 19. 19 in numerology equals a 1, which is about a new beginning. This new beginning that you are entering, because we also have the Fool, there is a new beginning, but it's almost like a new beginning where it's It's not that new because it's almost like you have navigated this before, but now you're just doing so from a new chapter. It's like an ending and a beginning. It's almost like a rebirth. It's a rebirth. This rebirth is awakening the lion in you. This rebirth is awakening a version of you who's assertive, who's more dominant, but not in an aggressive way. I'm seeing this balanced assertion and confidence in this new era. It's awakening leadership in you, the ability to really uphold boundaries, the ability to lead with this confidence and enter as the highest version of yourself. And Spirit's really inviting you to look at your month from this perspective. Because I really feel like this is why we have this Jupiter energy showing up too, which is all about good luck and expansion and good fortune. Spirit is literally saying this new era that you are moving into, you have the ability to make it more stable than ever because you have the wisdom to do so. And you have this lion energy that is awakening within you it is assertive. It is dominant. It is confident. It knows, like, you know what you want. And it's stepping into this role of being the leader. Believing in yourself more than ever. It's waking that inner lion. So rather than feeling like the mouse or the cat or anything like this, it's like you're awakening your lion. So let's see what else we get here for you, my love. Your month of February. Let's see. So we also have Ascension, reaching new heights. I feel like this card really wanted to come out too. Oh, we have Shadow. Ooh. So the shadows when we bring unconscious things to light, or look at how this bat was like asleep up here, kind of all curled up, and now is like spreading its wings. Then we also have Ascension, which is about the wings as well. If my camera will focus. There we go. We have the wings on the Ascension card as well here. This is your month where you are taking action. And I feel like it's big action where you're not holding yourself back. It's almost like you were once perhaps either in protection mode or planning mode, contemplative mode. It's almost like you were stalled. Especially with the hangman that we had too. You were kind of stalled. You were in this limbo stage. February is you spreading your wings and look at boom. Where you were once in the shadows or staying in the dark or not really moving forward, you are now coming to light. This could also indicate new information coming to light, new opportunities coming to light, a new decision coming to light. Things like this where it's now like you're spreading your wings. And then look at you're rising. You are rising this month. This is your month of rising. It's waking the lion and rising up. I'm loving this. Let's see what else we get here for you, my love. Let's dive into these cards. Okay, so we also have the luminary, so letting your light shine, taking action. Look at how this card is like fully taking action. Also, the sword always represents communication, discernment, logic, boundaries, cutting away things that no longer work for you, and also getting to the point and gaining clarity. That's what the swords represent. So the fact that this person right here is holding the swords, and look at the wings that are showing up again, you are ascending because of your ability to use logic, discernment, speak the truth, uphold boundaries, create clarity. Making a decision is also connected to the swords, like making a clear decision, having a clear plan, communicating that plan, you know, all those things. It's like you're activating a new doorway to open in your life. And let's see, we also have, oh my gosh. It's so funny because when I was talking about the sword, it was reminding me so much of the Justice card in tarot. And then when this card comes up, it looks so similar to the Justice card in tarot. Anyway, this one says Advocate. We have the sword again. So this is about boundaries, fairness, equality, balancing things out. So if you went through kind of a chaotic moment where things were like, woof, or if you're navigating one right now, through the month of February, you are going to be balancing things out. And it's balancing through your ability to stand up with confidence, to speak your mind, to uphold those boundaries, to have clarity, to cut through the truth, to cut to the chase, to get to the point of something, to make a decision, implement a plan. We also have Archer. So you're focusing and aligning and you're pinpointing exactly what you want to create in the future. I feel like you're gaining a lot of clarity this month. So if anything still feels up in the air, I feel like there's going to be this confident, bold action energy that you are taking this month. There may be a bit of a pivot, but you know exactly where you're pivoting to. It's almost like Spirit's giving me, when I'm looking at this Archer, Spirit's giving me this visual of wind coming. And you know if you've ever done archery before, if there's a lot of wind, whenever you shoot your bow, you have to think about how much wind there is, because the wind is going to move the arrow, right, slightly off target, depending on how strong the wind is and all these things and what direction it's going in. So you need to kind of like, act in accordance. But what Spirit is showing me is there could be like wind in your life right now, right? Metaphorical wind. And you're getting clarity on exactly where you want to go. And I'm almost seeing you being this archer where you're like, you know what? I've experienced this wind before. Now I know how to correct and how to stay in alignment even during this wind so that you can hit your target and get exactly where you are envisioning yourself to go. It's like you're aligning and you have this strength, you have this wisdom that's like, very palpable and very real. So let's go ahead and see any last cards that we get for you, my beautiful group 2s, all about your month of February. So we also have the card of transform. Something is definitely going to be transforming in your life this month. So emerge with beauty and grace from your cocoon. Oh, isn't that not just like our bat card here with the shadow? It's almost like you were in that cocoon stage where it's like things were kind of stagnant. There was a lot of thinking, a lot of planning, and it's almost like no matter what you did, ooh, Spirit's giving me this visual of you being in a cocoon, and whilst it may have felt like you were taking a lot of action and doing a lot of things, maybe it wasn't showing a lot of results. And what Spirit is showing is almost like you being in a cocoon, taking all this action, doing all this movement, doing all this stuff, but yet you're confined by this cocoon. So no matter what you did, it's almost like nothing changed. This is your month where I feel like you are breaking out of that, breaking free, like all of these sword analogies, almost like you cutting your way out of that box, spreading your wings. And through that, it's like, oh my God, my action is now taking me leaps forward. Okay? Spirit is also saying, emerge with beauty and grace from your cocoon. So when you're emerging in this new realm, kind of, taking action in this new way, emerging as this new you, emerge with beauty and grace. Who do you want to emerge as? Do you want to emerge as like the most beautiful, highest version of you? Ooh, I want to see it. I want to see it. So who is that most beautiful, most highest version of you, and how can you emerge as that version of you, my love? Because Spirit and me, we're like, we want to see this. We want to see this version of you come out. So let's go ahead and see any last information that wants to come through for my beautiful group 2s. Let's see. I feel like that card. We have growth. The tallest oak tree once started as a seedling. Don't be afraid to start something new. Oh, I felt that in my soul for some reason. I felt that in my soul. Maybe you did too, but the tallest oak tree once started as a seedling. Don't be afraid to start something new. If you're building a new foundation in any way, shape, or form, if you're creating a new structure, a new routine, and if it feels like you're starting at square one, remember, the tallest oak tree once started as a seedling. And even the tallest oak tree can surpass all the other oak trees and somehow still be younger than the other oak trees, but surpass them, because growth it doesn't have to be linear, right? So don't be afraid to start something new. Because you have all of this wisdom and because you have this stronger foundation, you have this stronger root system now because of all that you've learned. Oh, my love. You could be rising higher than ever, okay? I just got goosebumps when I said that. Oh, goosebumps always mean truth from spirit. So my love, thank you so much for joining me here for today's video. One thing I want to mention is my Tarot Masterclass is open for the next 24 hours for you to sign up. So if you want to learn how to read tarot like a pro and actually master reading tarot, where you learn how to unlock more of your intuition, you learn how to combine the cards with any question and extract tons of information. And I also take you on a self-development journey, because the tarot, by the way, is actually the deepest self-development book and also manifestation book about, it's like a map to the universe and how you and the universe work. And it's a map to learning how to master yourself and also be the master creator of your life. So I also take you on a journey of what the tarot relays through that, so you can go on your own self-development journey as well through understanding the story of the tarot, and so much more. So I cannot wait to guide you through it. All the information is linked down below. If you've missed the window of signing up, you can sign up for the waitlist for the next time that we open the doors to the Tarot Masterclass. But I cannot wait to see you inside, my love. I'm sending you so much love. And until next time, bye. All right, my beautiful group threes, if this is the group that you chose, this is gonna be all about your month of February, so let's go ahead and dive right into it. All right, my group threes, let's start off with your astrodice and let's see your month of February. So we have Mercury, in Virgo in the 9th house. Got a ton of information through this. So first off, Mercury is the planet of communication, planning, short travel, short trips, like quick little opportunities, errands, things like this. Virgo is the zodiac sign that's all about organization, routines, schedules, your work that you're putting into the world, things like that. The 9th house is about higher learning, education, belief systems, philosophy, and travel. So with Mercury here, there could be bigger plans that you are currently making in terms of your future, your vision. Perhaps you're even diving deeper into philosophy this month. Maybe you're reading a really important book, or even taking a course, class, or maybe your focus is on your schoolwork or something like this, or on higher learning. It can also correlate to teaching. So some of you, if you're a teacher or planning on bestowing your wisdom on others in any way, shape, or form, it can also be correlated to that. Since Mercury is also connected to writing, it can bring an emphasis towards anything that you are writing or planning or things like that, especially with Virgo being there too. There's a lot here that deals with the mind, writing, communication, learning, and planning, and possibly also travel as well with Mercury and the 9th house. So there's a lot going on for you in the month of February. I feel like some of you, again, you might be in school or something, or learning something, or putting your energy towards those types of things. Occasionally, this could also talk about the work that you are doing, especially with Virgo being here as well. Perhaps you have a big project that you are working on, or there's gonna be a new opportunity that allows you to expand this month. This could be an opportunity that allows you to expand your work in some way, or that allows you to expand into new opportunities, or to even travel. So that is coming through. Let's see what else we get here for your month of February. My group threes, what else do we have going on for you? I feel like these cards were wanting to come out, so let's see what we have here. We have Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. It is happening. So Lemuria gives me this energy that this month is going to be one where there's going to be these bursts of experiences through this month where it's like, oh, I'm having a good day. Or there's going to be like this new inspiration that even comes through. Or perhaps there's going to be these certain days here and there where it's sort of just like, I'm having an amazing day. Where you feel in your power and you feel like things are going really, really well. So Lemuria touches on that aspect. We also have break the chain coming through. Ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. So we have something correlating there with writing, by the way. Breaking the chain too. So if you felt held back in any way, if you felt held back when it comes to making plans, or working on the projects that you're working on, or if you just felt held back in any way, shape, or form in your life, or there was some form of resistance even when it came to the ways in which you want to move forward or make progress, if it felt like there was resistance. This month, you are gaining that confidence, that insight to break yourself from those old patterns and from that old resistance and all these things. And it's going to be a really healing thing to kind of like break off those chains that once were holding you back. It could have even been fears or doubts that were holding you back, or again, just resistance or things like this, where it was like writer's block or just blocks here and there that you didn't understand how to kind of get out of that block. The month of February is going to be a month where you are figuring out how to free yourself from those blocks. We also have Pleiades coming through, double mission, channeling, and uplifting humanity. Ooh, the double mission aspect is really sticking out to me there. Perhaps you have two big things going on this month. Maybe you have two really big, major things, or you're juggling duality in some way. Maybe you're working two jobs, or juggling schoolwork plus a job, or juggling, you know, certain plans that you've had, like traveling plus a job or something like this. I feel like it's education and work for a lot of you. It's like education and work. There's a double mission there where it's kind of like you have your foot in two different ponds. Also channeling and uplifting humanity. I feel like you have a higher vision, something that you're really wanting to bring to the world. Maybe you're working on, some of you are working on your purpose or a vision that you are wanting to bring into reality, and you're kind of planning what that looks like and working on it through the month of February. And it could be taking up a little bit more of your time, but I'm getting this energy. My group threes, I'm getting this beautiful energy of inspiration. And I don't know if this is something that you are directly feeling yourself, or if this is something that either you're going to be feeling, or it's even your guides and spirit and the universe giving this feeling, this really, really positive feeling that's coming through, where they're really encouraging what you're doing. And what I mean by that is the vision that you have. Spirit wants to talk about the vision that you have, where it's like you feel this purpose within you. You feel this purpose or this calling to do something where it's kind of going to benefit others, or it's something that would benefit others in some way. Maybe you have a vision of doing something or creating something or something like this. Spirit is saying that they have such an encouraging energy behind it, and they're really wanting you to move forward with it and overcome those chains that might be holding you back, because Spirit is really saying, like, you're ready, you got this. It's really just, to believe in yourself, which might sound like airy-fairy or whatever, but it really, like, when you come down to just believing in yourself, sometimes you unhinge yourself from those chains of doubt or fears that were once holding you back, right? So it can actually be one of the most powerful things to do. We also have the King of Wands being reversed. So if there has been this feeling of inner doubt, or this fear of failure, fear of rejection, or even thinking like, oh, I'm not good enough yet, or I don't have what it takes to reach the end goal, things like this. If you have any of those feelings, I feel like this is the month of facing that and telling yourself a different story so that you can overcome those old patterns that were keeping you stuck. Because if you think about this card, I'll give you a piece of little wisdom here. See how there's a salamander right here? And then there's also a salamander here that's eating its own tail, which is the symbol of the Ouroboros. So a couple different things. The salamander is a symbol of regeneration because it regenerates its tail if it gets lost, which it's usually a protective mechanism where they can detach their tail in order to run away from prey, things like that, whatever. So it's a symbolism in spirituality for regeneration. What this means for you and the wisdom that Spirit wants to bestow on you is that even if you do fail at anything, even if something doesn't go your way, even if it's not perfect and it's like, oh shoot, that didn't work out, Spirit's giving you the message of you can literally redo it. You can regrow it. If there's just at least do it. And then if you're not happy with it, shift it and change it. Learn from it. Regenerate, because each time that you regenerate, you get a level higher because you're integrating the wisdom that you learned the first time, and you just grow and grow and grow higher and higher. Excuse me. Spirit is literally saying, release the doubt, release the resistance, because anything that doesn't work out, it's like, well, we can revisit it, right? We can revisit it, we can redo it, and when we do it from a higher place. So Let's see what else we get here for you, my love. We also have judgment coming through. So this card can talk about the fears of judgment that you have. Also, when it's upright, it's the release of the judgment. Look at how these people are like ready to be judged. They're like, you know what? Judge me. I don't care. I'm embracing it. Tell me your thoughts and your opinions because it'll help me grow, right? Look at that. Look at that symbolism here. They're not afraid of the judgment. They're just like, you know what? I'm here for it. I'm embracing it. Tell me what your thoughts and opinions are, please. And you know, I've actually kind of like taken that on myself because being here on YouTube, like, there can be tons of different comments. Like there's people that comment like, oh my God, your fingers are super long, ew. You know, just random things, right? And I've kind of gotten to the place myself where I'm just like, you know what? Judge me, it's okay. Like I don't like the judgments when it's about like physical things that I can't really change. But when it's about things such as, oh, you talk super, super fast, please slow it down. I'm like, you know what? I could learn from that. I could grow from that. So, you know, at the same time, it's just like, okay, cool. If it comes, it comes, right? So if there's any sort of fears of judgments that you have, it's like, what are other people going to think and say? And, you know, what are they going to, what are they going to think about me choosing this or doing this? When we get to the point of just kind of embracing it, we really set ourselves free. And we also allow ourselves to grow, right? It's like we allow ourselves to transform because the only way to really transform is to be able to have that contrast. Okay, so I'm seeing you being able to integrate and to kind of overcome past fears and doubts and things like that, and to release the things that were once holding you back, because judgment's very much about a release, and it's also about a higher calling. So look at how this angel's blowing this trumpet. This is like a higher calling. So I feel like you've been receiving this higher calling that's been calling you to pursue something or to start something or to move in a particular direction. And it might even feel just like an inner calling that you have or a desire that you have or just this feeling like, ooh, I should do this. It's coming from the higher realms. And it's saying that you are ready. You would not feel the call within you unless you already had the means to achieve it and you were already resonating with it. There's something known as the law of resonance, which is going to be way too long for me to explain in this video right here. But basically, I'll give you the gist of it, is that anytime two things resonate, they amplify each other. The fact that you feel an inner calling within you means that you are the perfect energetic match for it in the world. Otherwise, you wouldn't feel the calling for it. So boom, I'll give you that information right there. So Spirit wants you to pursue something, and I feel like this is your month of doing so. Again, it might feel like you're carrying a lot. But Spirit really wants you to break the chains of that resistance, because the Ten of Wands can talk about feeling like, you know, it's like, oh, I got so much going on. I have so much of this. How am I going to make time for it? How am I going to do this? How am I going to carry all this weight? Spirit's really saying, release the mental load and the energetic load. Act on inspiration. Yes, have resilience, have perseverance, push through all those things. This is like, I definitely see you doing all those things. I also see that this month is definitely, it's a busy month, okay? It's definitely a busy month. But you're working through that resistance, and it's going to really come through breaking those old chains of what used to be holding you back. So let's go ahead and see what else we get for your month. We also have the Seven of Cups. Gaining clarity. Okay, so this is when we can have a lot of options in front of us, and it's like, maybe there's a lot of different paths, or maybe you're wondering like, what is the actual path? How is this actually going to turn out? How do I know what the outcome is? Sometimes we have a hard time choosing and actually moving towards something because we're overthinking the outcome. We're overthinking like, is this going to be the right choice? Do I start it now? Do I start it later? Is it going to be better to do it now or later? What's going to be the outcome? What's going to be the outcome? What's going to be the outcome? And the thing is no matter when you start something, no matter what it is you choose, any outcome is possible, but it depends the energy that you put forward, right? If you're putting forward the energy of like, oh, it's tough, it's going to be so hard, it's going to be so hard. I mean, that's literally what you end up creating. However, if you put the energy forward of like, I am so freaking inspired by this. And okay, I'm going to take the judgments, and instead of me being like, oh, I'm burdened by the judgments, if I take those judgments and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to let these help me grow, right? I'm just going to accept it and like either laugh at the silly ones that make no sense, or, you know, really allow the constructive ones to help me grow. And it's like, what's an entirely new perspective shift that literally releases you of the weight, right? Therefore, creating such a different outcome, right? Same choice, we're still choosing the same thing, but we're taking action from a different space, creating an entirely new outcome. So hopefully that's making sense there. Hopefully that is relevant. Let's go ahead and dive into some more cards here for your month of February. I also feel like it's going to be a month of gaining clarity, making decisions that are in alignment with what you truly desire, increasing your confidence, your self-worth, persevering even though you might have been working on something where it feels like, when am I ever going to reach the end of this? When is it finally going to be complete? It's like maybe you've been doing something for a long time and you're wondering, when is it going to finally get done? Or maybe you're just carrying a lot of weight. And the more that you persevere, you can reach that end goal, but it requires that perseverance, because sometimes either we just get set back, right? Like, let's say that we really want our house to be clean, but you know, maybe we live with our whole family and it gets messy really often. If we, you know, just sit back and kind of give up on it, then it kind of accumulates more, and then we kind of almost have to start back from square one again. Versus if we kind of persevere and get it to the point where it's like, oh, I finished it all, then we can kind of maybe create these rules where it's like, okay, we're gonna keep this house clean, we're gonna kind of do this, and that allows us to really, you know, push to the finish line. But then once we're at the finish line, we can release, we can let go. So maybe there's something that you are pushing towards the finish line this month as well, and the 10 of Wands is saying, keep going, you got this, don't give up. We don't want you to have to restart all of this process. So don't give up, keep going, you got this. Okay, there's also a message of that coming through as well. Let's go ahead and see what else we get. So we also have the beautiful uncaging, and we also have the Oracle's gift. So when this card comes up, I love this card. This is the gift card where you receive something. I feel like your guides, my love, and I don't say this very often in readings, okay? This is not a message that comes up often at all. But what I'm getting for you is that your guides are going to be giving you some form of gift this month in February. It might not even be that crazy, wild, or significant, but it's going to be a message that either uplifts you or gives you inspiration or helps you see a new perspective in some way. And I'm almost, you know what's crazy? We have this tea right here, right, with the little tea bag. This morning, actually, I brewed a cup of tea, and the message that is on it, I actually got an oomph of a powerful message. And I feel like because this is correlating so powerfully right here, I have to share it with you. So if we can focus the camera on this, hold on a second. Let me click the camera onto my finger here. Okay, so this is the message. Earth without art is just eh. Earth without art is just eh. How freaking true is that? Like, if the earth didn't have art, if we didn't have beautiful books that we could read, beautiful art that we could look at, a beautiful garden that we could go look at, or all these things, or like a beautiful tarot reading that you can watch, where I really like put my art of loving the tarot so much out here on YouTube. I don't know, maybe you guys love it, I hope so. But anyway, if we didn't have those beautiful things of art, imagine the world would just be eh. It would just be eh. You know? But we have beautiful things such as a flower. We have beautiful things such as art or something like this that we can look at. So Spirit is saying, what is your gift that you want to bring to the world? What is the art that you are going to bring to the world? And Spirit is almost saying to go out and appreciate the beauty of the earth, the beauty and the art that surrounds you here and now, the art that you are. Treat yourself like the beautiful art of the world as well. Ooh, that's inspiring, right? Because it's the art that makes humans go, ah. It's the beauty in like, damn, somebody wrote the best script ever of the best show. Like, I still think Avatar: The Last Airbender, which I don't know if you guys know what that is, but I still think that's one of the best, if not the best written show that I have ever seen thus far. And I still look back on that, and even though I'm kind of like more mature now or whatever, I still like, I could watch that show endlessly. It is freaking brilliant. Brilliant of a show. absolutely freaking brilliant. The story arcs, the character development, oh, the amount of art that went into that, it's just, oh, it makes the world such a beautiful place, right? So look at the art that's around you. And how can you be that piece of art as well, or contribute to that art, or whatever it is that you want to do with your life? What does that art look like, my love? The Oracle, this card, I really feel like Spirit is giving you a gift this month of inspiration, of maybe seeing your art and how beautiful your art is, to enjoy the art of life. Ooh, when you make life art, ooh, imagine making your entire life a work of art. That sounds beautiful and deep. I just inspired myself. I don't know. Hopefully that inspired you too. We also have beautiful uncaging. So the uncaging of your heart. So what this can talk about is being more open, being more vulnerable. So it can talk about having vulnerable conversations. It can talk about opening up on something that you've never opened up about before, but it allows you to kind of like create deeper connections, deeper understanding. It allows for healing. It allows for openness. So I feel like there's going to be some healing within yourself this month of being more open, being more seen, being more vulnerable. And I have a beautiful sip of my tea. Also, I just want to mention, here's my husband's beautiful mug. Isn't that gorgeous? He actually creates art. My husband is an artist. I just felt like sharing that. Anyway, he has a YouTube channel. There it is, After School. You can check it out. It's one of the best YouTube channels I've ever seen in my life. But anyway, back to your reading here. So let's get any more cards for you, my love, my beautiful group threes. Let's see, we also have surrender. Okay, so the things that are outside of your control, this month, it's so beautiful when we just kind of surrender to certain things that are out of our control. So other people's thoughts, other people's opinions, when we surrender to it, and we're just like, you know what, rather than me trying to be perfect, right? Because sometimes what stops us from creating art, by the way, is this idea of perfectionism, of wondering like, what are other people going to think or say? It's not perfect and all these things. But when we surrender to the things that are outside of our control, realizing that people are going to have opinions no matter what we do, right? And we surrender to that, it frees us. It frees us. And so Spirit has a message for you to set yourself free by surrendering. So let's go ahead and see any last messages for my group threes for the month of February. We have renew. Nature continuously renews itself year after year. What is the renewal that you are being called into doing? I also feel like this card wants to come out. Journey, branch out into new worlds. And we also have time. Embrace the dewdrops of life before they disappear with the morning sun. So embrace what you have here and now. This is a conversation that I had with one of my friends recently, because she's at a stage of her life where she really wants, you know, to have certain things have happened already. Like she's, you know, kind of stuck in, you know, wanting certain things to have already occurred that haven't occurred yet. And I recently had this conversation which gave me all these epiphanies, and I feel like sharing it with you, especially with this coming up. Sometimes we live in the future of being like, I really wish I was here already. I really wish I was experiencing this already. But what we don't realize is that once we are there, we are also going to be reminiscing and nostalgic about where you are right now. Because there's certain things that you have right now that you will not have once you have the thing that you currently desire. So for example, an example I can give you. Oh, here's an example from my own life, actually. Okay, so I love my married life, and I love, you know, where I'm at in my life right now. In fact, this is like the life that I always dreamed of. However, there's times where I reminisce and I have nostalgia for when I lived on the beach on my own, and my days were kind of just like, you know, I just did whatever I wanted in my days, and I just had like all of this free time. I reminisce on that and I think, oh gosh, if only I lived more in the present moment when I was there, because I remember being there, dreaming about where I'd be right now. And although I definitely prefer being where I am now, 100%, oh my God, like wouldn't trade it for the world. But one thing that I reflect on, and one thing that's given me a lot of realization, is that back then, I used to constantly live in the future of like, when am I going to be married and have my family and get to live that life? And now I look back and I'm like, stop living in the future and enjoy the present of where you are right now, because there's gonna come a time where you're like, where you don't get that anymore and you're gonna wish you milked it when you had the chance. And so, not that I regret any of that. I did enjoy a lot of that life, but that's an example to show you that it's so important to live in the present. It's so important to enjoy where you are right now. So important. And while, yes, you can also desire, it's not bad to have desires. And I'm not saying it's bad to have desires. It's amazing to have desires, but embrace the dewdrops of life. Embrace where you are right now before it disappears with the morning sun, before there's a dawn of a new era or a new chapter. Because once you're in that new chapter, you're not gonna be where you are right now anymore. Therefore, all the nuances and the details of what you have right now, all the beauty of what you have right now, not all of it is gonna follow you to the future. So embrace what you have right now. You can still desire. Yes, it's fun to desire, but also live in the present moment and juice it and love it, okay? So that is the message that wanted to come through for your month of February. My beautiful, beautiful group number 3s. I also want to mention my Tarot Masterclass is going to be out for the next 24 hours. It's been out for the last week. We've had some amazing people join, and the feedback, by the way, has been mind-blowingly incredible. I'm so happy that you guys are loving the Tarot Masterclass, but the door's closed to it in the next 24 hours. So if you want to join, the link is down below. If you missed that window, of course, you can sign up for the waitlist. But inside of the Tarot Masterclass, I not only teach you how to read the tarot like a master, being able to apply the cards to any question, understanding how the cards interact with each other, understanding the wisdom of the cards, how to actually understand what the message of the card is trying to convey, how to build and use your intuition. And then I also take you on the journey of what the tarot teaches, because the tarot is so much more than a divination tool. In fact, it was never actually initially intended to be a tool for divination. It is actually a guide map to self-mastery and the universe. So if you're into self-development, if you want to be the master of yourself and the master architect of your life, the tarot actually is a sequence and a story teaching you how to become the master of yourself, how to become the master of your energy, your emotions, your mind, and your physical self and your physical world. It goes through those 4 different elements and also the evolution of consciousness. I teach you all the things. So even if that sounds like, whoa, that sounds like a lot, you will literally go through this course and come out as a master being like, whoa, I understand the tarot in a whole new way. And you get to go on a whole self-development journey and all of these things inside with the tarot. So I cannot wait to walk you through it. All the details are down below. I cannot wait to see you inside, my love. I'm sending you all so much love, and until next time, bye. All right, my beautiful group number 4s, if you chose this pile, this is gonna be your reading for the month of February. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. All right, my group 4s, let's see your month of February. How is it gonna go? So we have Mercury in Gemini in the 5th house. So Mercury is the planet of communication, planning, errands, short travel, getting things done, all that. Gemini is the planet or the zodiac sign of communication, thinking, planning, learning, connections to others. The 5th house is the house of passions, creativity, fun, joy, pleasure, romance and dating, and also the house of children. So a few different things that I'm getting for you. And also, since this is a general reading, I'm gonna be pointing out a lot of different things here. For one, this could be going out on a lot of dates. So for any of you that are single, this could be a month where there is, some more dating going on, seeing people that you're actually really interested in, really good conversations happening. Maybe you have somebody that you're interested in, you're going on more dates with them. For those of you that are already in a relationship, this could be having a lot of fun or a lot of communication, planning different things together that you're excited about. Since this is the house that also deals with children, if any of you have children, this is more communication, more togetherness, more shared experiences happening, plans for some really fun things. Since the 5th house is very much about pleasure and creativity and joy and the pleasures of life, overall, your biggest theme through the month of February is one of joy, pleasure, and creativity. That is your main theme this month. I feel like when you look back on this month, you're gonna notice that the main things that you were focused on through this month is having fun, sharing joy, especially with those that you want to spend your time with, especially in regards of children or romance or dating or things like that. For those of you that are still single, I feel like you're going to be talking to somebody that you're interested in this month. For those of you that are in a relationship, again, that just correlates to your relationship. But let's go ahead and see what else we get here for you, all about your month of February. I feel like there's new plans that you're putting underway, especially that plans that you're excited about that are going to bring out a sense of like fun and joy and pleasure that kind of ignite your creative spark a little bit. Maybe you're going to be even trying new things, new hobbies, spending time doing more fun stuff. Perhaps you've been realizing in life, maybe you're just like, I just desire to have more fun. Maybe that's been one of your biggest sort of goals lately is like, I want life to be enjoyable. And then we also have the Page of Cups showing up, which for one can represent a young person, such as a child, or it can also represent you or just the main energies that are happening, or it can even represent a message coming through. So this could be somebody coming through and asking you for your number or out on a date. If this is representing one of your children, if you have a child, this would represent somebody who wants to be more playful, somebody who wants to express more of their emotions and is showing much more of their emotions. If any of you are going on a date with somebody, this would indicate that the date is opening up more emotionally. There's an emotional connection. I really feel like the energy that I'm getting from this, it's fun, it's playful, and your emotions are opening up in a new way this month, because the pages represent sort of the initiation of something. They can represent even like a new beginning or the start of a new kind of cycle or the growth of something. It's like the beginning of that growth. So I feel like there's going to be like new opportunities even, or even like a new person in your life that kind of opens you up emotionally a little bit more. Or again, it could represent like a new chapter with the person that you're already with, and sort of like a new thing that you both are emotionally putting or pouring into. So we also have the Wheel of Fortune coming up as well. This card represents good luck, or like even the turning of events. When it's upright, it's the turning of events that are turning towards an upward spiral, where things are moving upwards. Good karma is flowing in. But it can also represent that things are shifting as well. So there's a change of events that's happening. So your regular events that you regularly spend your time doing, your regular routine, I feel like is going to be shifting in some way. There's a shift of events, and it could be coming through a new person or a new opportunity or a new way that you're spending your time, or like a new focus that's kind of coming in here. But there's going to be a shift of events in your life in the month of February that's it's going to lead you in a new direction. Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune, since it's a major arcana card, it has lasting effects that last longer than just the month of February. The Page of Cups is more of like a simpler energy that's not as long lasting unless you kind of accumulate it to be. The Wheel of Fortune is like the change of events that's going to be kind of like lasting for quite some time. I'm almost hearing like the next 6 to 10 months, there's going to be kind of this nice upward spiral where there's a lot of change that's occurring over these next 6 to 10 months that leads you on this upward sort of journey where it's like, ooh, synchronicities are happening. I'm finding new things, new ideas that are just like really fun, perhaps even new hobbies that you're discovering. And it's sort of this nice upwards turn that you're going on. We also have the 10 of Pentacles being reversed here. And let's get one more card as well. Ooh, I feel like that one. So 10 of Pentacles being reversed. We also have 7 of Wands upright. So the 10 of Pentacles is one of the most richest, most abundant cards in the tarot. When it shows up in the reverse position, it can talk about the abundance being there, but it's either still growing and accumulating, or it's even we're working on our foundation to be more stable, more reliable, and more abundant. It's something that's kind of still in progress is the feeling that I'm getting from this, especially with this showing up here as well. There is something that's kind of a work in progress in the month of February. Perhaps some of you are really wanting to get your finances in a better order. The fact that we have this next to the Wheel of Fortune shows me that you are working and making progress towards your finances going upwards, right? There could be certain things where you're just maybe even feeling like you have a lot going on where it's like, oh, I need to take care of this, I need to take care of this. Through that, you're kind of realizing the importance of having fun and how fun kind of gives you the energy of this brighter mood to be able to kind of show up to what you're building and have more energy to put towards it, to have more inspiration and energy to put towards building a more solid foundation here. So also with this card being reversed, since we have the 10 and then the 10, the next 10 months is going to be you putting time, energy, and effort towards turning things around financially and within your security and also within your home life, because maybe your finances are okay, but then the 10 of Pentacles talks about material things and also family. So if anything has been disorderly there or hasn't been quite what you wanted it to be, this is the shifting of that so that you can begin building it. Perhaps you have a vision of what you want your family life to look like, right? And maybe you're getting out there and dating and being like, you know what? I want things to turn in that direction. And now we have the Wheel of Fortune where it's like things are really on our side and we're on the upturn. So rather than things kind of being on the downturn where it's like we're feeling like we're getting further away from our goal and our dream, now February is the month where things are moving towards you getting closer and closer to it. And I really feel like within these next 10 months, you're going to solidify this foundation, this 10 of Pentacles energy. You're going to be solidifying it. So look at how the 7 here, it's like protecting the foundation. If you feel like recently up until now, you've been trying to fight for a foundation, you've been trying to create this foundation, you've been trying to make this into what you desire it to be, the month of February, that hard work is going to be paying off and you're going to start to notice those shifts and notice those changes. And because those changes are coming in and because you're going to start to see that upturn and that upswing, it's going to allow you to relax more. Because the thing about the 7 of Wands is although this person is still like, needing to put in the work and all these things, he's not being overwhelmed by the sticks. However, when the 7 of Wands is reversed, that's when he's feeling overwhelmed, but it's not, it's upright. So I'm seeing you with all of your tasks being able to come forward with much more energy, much more inspiration, and much more hope than before. It's like you're actually feeling on top of it. And I feel like because of that ability to relax, you're able to pour into the fun and the joy and the hobbies and the pleasures of life. But I also feel like it's a vice versa thing where the pleasures of life are also giving you the energy to stay on top of everything. So it's like this beautiful balance that's being created through this month of being able to enjoy life more and seeing progress. And although it may feel small at first, this is going to be accumulating over the next 10 months. So I know that we're talking about just your month of February, but in this reading specifically, Spirit wanted to talk about the next 10 months because Spirit's saying that February is the initiation of this upward growth that's going to continue to accumulate and build in momentum over these next 10 months. I also feel like 7 months from now, Spirit's saying July. Spirit is saying July is a significant month where you're actually going to get this feeling of like, I'm at a higher place than I have been in a very long time. July is going to be a really great month. So that just came through. Let's go ahead and see what else we get here for you. For your month of February, we also have the uncharted sea. You know what's interesting is this has like a compass sort of look to it. And then we also have the compass over here. I feel like when it comes to navigating the unknown, you're more equipped than you ever have been before. So when it comes to navigating new events, new things, when it comes to navigating where you are currently in your life and getting to your destination. This is a month where you are going to be making a lot of progress on that. Also, if any of you have travel plans or are making travel plans, this would talk about things moving in a really positive direction in regards to travel plans, or perhaps you are going to be actually traveling in the month of February. This would be really good for that. And what it would indicate is you traveling somewhere that you've never been before. And let's go ahead and see what else we get here. We also have a higher view. In terms of if you're not traveling, by the way, and that's not in the cards for you, what this can talk about is making plans for something where you're like, okay, I've never achieved this before, I've never accomplished this before, I've never experienced this before, but you're making plans that you're putting into motion to bring you to an experience that you are desiring to reach, or a destination you're desiring to reach. The higher view, the fact that we have the higher view plus the Seven of Wands, you are going to feel more on top of things this month than you have. If you have felt overwhelmed with responsibilities or your schedule or with work or with money or with your home life or whatever you have felt overwhelmed by, this is the month that you are going to gain a higher view and you're going to feel more on top of it than ever. And I know that that message has come up repetitively already. However, I really wanted to repeat it because the fact that we had this showing up once again, Spirit really wanted to kind of like ingrain this message of like, things are really moving up. So let's see what else we get here. My group fours. Okay, so we also have Fate showing up. This can talk about a new beginning because the eggs always talk about hatching a new beginning. Also, this is a fated new chapter that's opening for you. There is, like, of course we have free will, and free will is like our biggest thing in this world, but there are certain things that are fated. You are meant to overcome your previous challenges. That's what Spirit just said. You were meant to overcome it. You were never meant to stay bogged down by those challenges. So Spirit's really saying to believe in yourself, to trust in yourself. We also have the sovereignty, or the sovereign. So this is stepping up into your power to realize that, you know what, I am the creator. I also feel like this is you calling your power back. So in any way in which you have felt like your power, like maybe you felt like almost like giving up on something. The sovereign, with this coming up, I'm seeing you putting your crown back on, calling your power back and being like, you know what, I believe in myself. I'm almost seeing you hyping yourself up and getting to this point of being like, know what, you know what, I'm not giving up. I am not letting this go. I am not letting my vision down. I am going to pursue this stronger than I ever have before, and I'm going to come out on top. It's like this desire to overcome previous failures, previous challenges, and this desire to be like, you know what? I'm going to become more badass than ever. I'm going more forward than ever. And it's this willingness to really overcome what has been setting you back. This inner confidence to pursue further than you have before. So let's go ahead and see what else we get for you here. This card is stuck to the table. There we go. Okay. Let's see. My group fours. Ooh, that card is wanting to come out. We have the Shen Ring, protection. You are divinely protected. This is something I feel like you're going to feel this month. You have been being guided. You have been protected all along. And I feel like Spirit wants to bring through this information of protection. In certain things where you felt unstable, certain things that you felt like, I don't understand where my future is going, things where you almost felt like giving up, or things that you were losing hope on, you have been divinely protected in this area. Oh, I got goosebumps. Goosebumps always mean truth from Spirit. So Spirit's saying, listen to this message. You have been protected and you are protected. Everything is going to be okay. This is a month where Spirit is saying, you are protected. Have fun. Enjoy life. Life is meant to be enjoyed. Okay? So let's see what else we get. I really feel like this is such a flip month where things are really flipping and getting released, and it's like It's this focus on joy, this focus on fun, this focus on positivity and optimism. Ooh, the word optimism just came through really strong. Let's see what else we get here, my love, my group fours. Ooh, so we have the Mystic coming through, which says know, seek, contemplate, and philosophize. So it's almost like you're cultivating an inner knowing. Ooh, I also feel like some of you have had this inner knowing. Almost this inner knowing like, I know this is what I'm meant to be doing, or I know that this is the path I'm meant to be on, or this inner knowing like, I know everything's gonna work out. There's this inner knowing that I feel like either you have or is building, and you are going to kind of feel that energy through the month of February. Spirit is saying to trust that inner knowing that you have, this inner knowing like, I just know on the deeper core of me that everything's gonna be fine, that I'm meant to enjoy life, that I'm meant to be doing these funner things, and that it's going to shift. It's almost this inner knowing, right? So let's see what else we get for you, my group four. Okay, we also have trust. The robin trusts her wings, not the branch she sits on. So this is a really important message in the sense that it's important to trust yourself, not the branch you sit on, meaning that the things that you might currently rely on, whatever it is that you currently rely on, it's like those things could be taken away at any moment. But when you choose to trust yourself rather than the branch that you're sitting on, you realize that even if the branch falls away, even if you don't have the branch anymore, you still have yourself, and you can still fly to a new destination. You can even fly to a better branch. So the robin trusts her wings, not the branch she sits on. Ooh. And look at this too, the higher view. It's almost like, I'm almost getting this vision from Spirit that Spirit's giving me, where it's almost like a branch has fallen away from you. Maybe that was a relationship of some kind, or something that you used to trust, something that you used to, feel comfortable perching on. It's almost like that branch did fall away or is falling away, and look at, you're spreading your wings and you're like, I'm gonna rise to a new height. And this month is your beginning of rising to that new height. Okay, let's see. Any last messages? My group fours. Any last messages? My group fours. Ooh, there we go. Your last message for today. We have friends. Ooh, the most unlikely friendships can form like variegated lichens on hard rock. They create a tight bond. So there could also be a new friendship or a new person coming into your life this month that you create a beautiful connection with. Or you're going to notice that your friends are very supportive of you this month, that you have more support than you realized. Or again, sometimes even the most unlikely of friendships can form through different circumstances. So my love, this is a month where you are going to be supported. This is a month where you are spreading your wings to reach a new height rather than staying stuck where you were. Okay? You're getting up off that branch and you're flying somewhere new. And that new space is allowing you to shift things, to kind of turn things in a new direction. I really feel like with this ship too, and with the Wheel of Fortune, things are really shifting. It's almost like you're going on a big turn. There's a change of events that's happening. But this change, Spirit is saying in the bigger picture, this change is meant for you. This change was meant to happen. And it was meant to happen because of what you are meant for, because you're meant for more. Like, this is what I'm getting. You're meant for more than the branch that you were sitting on. And that branch was almost holding you back. Because as you sat there and as you built your nest on that branch, it's almost like the universe was trying to tell you like, hey, you're meant for more than this, but the only way for me to get you to move higher is for me to shake up this branch so that you get off of it and so that you actually go for more. So that's the change of events that I'm feeling is coming through, and I feel like this is going to start kind of accumulating and sort of starting to happen through the month of February. but it's really because you're meant for more, my love. And there's this inner knowing that I know that you know that. I know that you feel it too. And you're being divinely protected. So even though it's like, oh, there's this change of events, there's this shift, you've been protected all along. This is guiding you where you're meant to be. So my love, my group number 4s, thank you so much for joining me here for today's reading. This is definitely going to be a big month of a big change of events of some kind. So for some of you, actually, I'm getting the vibe that it might even be very subtle in the month of February. But over these next 10 months, it's like these subtle shifts and changes that accumulate to this big shift, okay? For some of you, this could be a big shift that's already happening right now, okay? For others of you, this is kind of accumulating a little bit, dripping in little bit by little bit, this big change that's going to be seen in retrospect over these next 10 months. It's like, woo, there was a lot that kind of accumulated and led to this bigger shift. So I feel like your life is going to be at a completely different space 10 months from now, where it's like you've built a more solid foundation and all of these things. You're at a higher branch, at a higher view, and you're kind of spreading your wings where you're no longer just staying stagnant or staying, what's the word I'm looking for? Complacent on your old branch. So a new branch is in your future, my love. So that is what we have, my beautiful, beautiful group number 4s. Thank you so much for joining me here for today's video. I'm sending you so much love. I also want to mention my Tarot Masterclass. You can sign up for it for the next 24 hours. It's been open. The doors have been open for it for the past week, but this is the last 24 hours that it's going to be open for signups. In the Tarot Masterclass, I'm going to be teaching you not only how to read the tarot like an absolute master, where you can apply the tarot confidently to any question, understand how the cards interact with each other, also extract the wisdom that the card is portraying to you as well, and then also to develop your intuition. And then on top of that, the tarot is also a map to self-development and being the creator of your reality. It's kind of a map to how the universe works. And what I take you through in the Tarot Masterclass is I teach you the self-developmental story that the tarot teaches so that you can actually apply that wisdom into your own life and go through your own self-development journey and understand how to be the master architect of your own reality. So I take you through so much in the tarot, and with that wisdom, then when you're doing a reading for others, you can portray that wisdom to others and be able to give them that transformative wisdom as well. So I cannot wait to see you inside of the Tarot Masterclass, my love. All the information is down below. If you missed the window for signing up, of course you can sign up for the waitlist for the next time that it opens. But I cannot wait to see you there. And I'm sending you so much love as always. And until next time, bye.